hour. As police continue to investigate, they say this was not a random act. The family knew the gunman. A family tragedy in Orange County this Sunday.
This wasn't a random act.
Police say a mother, father, and their 10-year-old son were all shot and killed inside of their own home in Newburgh in what appears to be a home invasion turned deadly. A 3-year-old boy who was also inside was also shot. He was rushed to the hospital.
Several people that have stated they heard gunshots.
Officers arrived at the home on Route 300 in Chadwick Lake Park around 8 this morning. They say there was blood throughout the home.
It is a rapidly developing situation where there are multiple scenes and multiple things going on.
Investigators say there was another child in the home who was unharmed. We're told a person of interest who's known to the family was taken into custody. It's still unclear why someone would want to open fire on this family and, even worse, take the lives of children who are inside of the home.
We have been to the residence on occasion, nothing very recent.
And we're told that 3-year-old boy remains in the hospital at this hour in serious condition. It is still unclear if he will survive. In the meantime, police say they are talking to a person of interest. They say they still need your help on this one, though. There are lots of moving parts. If you have any information whatsoever, you're urged to give them a call right away. We're in Newburgh tonight. Jennifer Bisram, Pix 11 News.
Still to come, secret recordings of President Trump released in the middle of his impeachment trial, how his allies are responding tonight. Plus, police investigating a hate crime on a New York subway platform, police working to track down the man who attacked a transgender woman. And our coverage continues on the sudden death of Kobe Bryant. Coming up, fans react to the tragic news. Well, a new fleet of subway cars are back in service after some faulty doors prompted the MTA to pull them for repairs. Pix 11's Rebecca Solomon reports.
The R179 subway cars are running on the tracks again. A little over 2 weeks after nearly 300 brand new cars were removed due to door issues. According to the MTA, the doors only opened once on an operating car. In a second incident, the doors malfunctioned on a car that was stationed and not in service.
We're pleased to put the fleet of R179 cars that were taken out of service back in service this morning.
MTA Chief Operating Officer Mario Peliquin riding the new cars Friday, saying the cars have been inspected and declared safe with new software to reinsure doors locked in the closed position.
We hired an independent company to oversee that work and to validate for us that it was done properly and it's safe. And on top of that, we insisted that the company install new software in case that there's any failure of the type that we experienced before. Some
riders still question the car's reliability, but say they're willing to take their chances.
We live in a commuter city, so in order to be able to get from point A to point B, you have to use the public transportation system. So every day is a risk.
I have to go to work.
Transit officials ensuring all commuters are safe. In Lower Manhattan, Rebecca Solomon, Pix 11 News.
An explosive recording of President Trump at a 2018 donors dinner has Washington buzzing. He's heard on a cell phone speaking about U.S. Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch, and the president apparently asking for her removal.
The biggest problem there, I think, where we need to start is we got to get rid of the ambassador. She's still left over from the Clinton administration. Get rid of her. Hooray. Okay, get her out tomorrow. I don't care. Get her out tomorrow. Take her out.
Senator, do you think the recently revealed tape from ABC with the president and Les Parnas talking about getting rid of Yovanovitch is damaging in any way?
No, I think the president's had lost faith in her for reasons that known to him.
The tape was provided by the attorney for Lev Parnas. Parnas worked with Rudy Giuliani to get the ambassador removed, but is now cooperating with Democrats in the impeachment trial. Stay with Pix 11 for coverage of the impeachment trial. You can watch it on our website, the Pix 11 app, and our Facebook page. We're also carrying it live on our news streaming channel. That's Pix 11 Plus. It's free. You can find it on your favorite streaming devices, including Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Android TV. Houston's mayor toured damaged homes after an explosion in the city that killed 2 people. This happened Friday at a manufacturing business. The blast shook much of the city. 214 homes were damaged in some way. About 50 were destroyed. Less than a mile away from the demolished facility, hundreds of people picking up the pieces of what is left of their homes. A restoration team founded during Hurricane Harvey sent volunteers to help secure those homes that had lost windows and garage doors from that explosion. Mayor Sylvester Turner toured some of those homes, assuring residents more help is on the way.
We want to let them know that they're not going to be forgotten. That we're here to assist. We're going to do everything we can to help them to get their feet back on the ground.
An investigation into what caused this blast is underway and may take months. New Jersey mega mall American Dream is proving to be a huge hit. It has seen nearly 800,000 visitors since opening just 3 months ago. The company that owns American Dream, 555, projected the mall would see 100,000 visitors per day when it's fully open. So far, it's seen much lower than that, but right now, only 8% of American Dream is operating. No restaurants are open. Only 1 store is open. The bulk of the mall will not open until March. All right, let's go back to Stacey Ann and talk about our weather for the work week. Hi there, Stacey Ann.
Hey there, Heidi. Yeah, we had some pretty unseasonably mild temperatures by a few degrees. Normally, we should be at 39. We made it to 46 here in Manhattan. Islip coming in at 48, so a little bit milder there. Bridgeport, look at that, 49 degrees, just shy of 50. And much cooler in Sussex, but still unseasonably mild nonetheless. Let's take a look now. Right, temperatures are still in the 40s across the board. Winds for the most part are nice and light. It's quite calm at Central Park. About westerly flow, 10 miles per hour at Newark, 12 miles there at LaGuardia. And we expect those winds to pick up every now and again. It'll be breezy at times again, so just keep that in mind. But the wind chill, that's going to be a factor, especially tomorrow morning. Although temperatures are trending unseasonably mild, it's going to feel quite cold tomorrow when you get up. We're in the 30s in terms of our wind chill in the Hudson Valley, northern New Jersey, Manhattan, just a few degrees off from the actual temperatures. And here's a look at our futurecast. This is what I'm talking about. Tomorrow morning, it's going to feel like 25 degrees. I'm just saying, make sure you bundle up, get the winter weather accessories. You'll need it. But by the afternoon, it's going to feel seasonable. It'll feel more like the upper 30s where we should be. And then the roller coaster continues Tuesday morning as we head into the pre-dawn hours. The wind chills drop off again, only to rise thereafter. In terms of winds and sky conditions, we're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies, a little bit of a upper level disturbance. We have some lake effect happening. We could see a few light flurries late tonight into early tomorrow morning. Really not going to yield much in the way of precipitation. And this is mainly for the northern sections. So in the city, the 5 boroughs, as well as Nassau, Suffolk County, we have a lower chance of seeing any of those flurries. Here's a look at your evening planner. 6 o'clock, as you can see, 44 there, and 42. Those temperatures will start to drop off just a little bit, but still feeling comfortable nonetheless. We'll have plenty of cloud cover as well, and winds will remain light. And we'll talk more about what's happening for the rest of the week. Plenty of sunshine, but how long will the dry streak last? I'll let you know because we're tracking a coastal storm, Katie.
Sounds good. Thank you, Stacey Ann. FedEx starting its new Sunday ground service this weekend. The company announced the move in May. FedEx has long provided residential Sunday delivery during the peak holiday season, but now the service is going to be available year-round for the majority of the U.S. population. The move comes as e-commerce has upended the delivery market. Amazon's in-house delivery network delivers about half of its own packages, and UPS began its own Sunday delivery service as of January 1st. All right, still ahead, find out which DMV in the tri-state is going to include non-binary as a gender option for driver's licenses. Plus, scammers have some new tricks up their sleeves, and it's costing New Yorkers bit time. A warning about what to look out for coming up. And still ahead, there's a smoking ban for certain parts of the airports in New Jersey.
And coming up, the world is reacting to the tragic death of Kobe Bryant. We'll have more on the emotional response from around the league. Stay with us. Be right back.
A rocket was reportedly launched at Iraq and hit the compound of the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. There are reports of minor damage. That rocket reportedly hit a dining facility at the compound. Neither the Pentagon nor the State Department have commented on any reports of injuries. The Prime Minister of Iraq has condemned this attack, and we'll bring you more updates, of course, on the story when we have them confirmed. All right, in other news, the Connecticut Department of Motor Vehicles making a move to make everybody feel included. Starting Monday, there will be 3 options available for state-issued driver's licenses: male, female, or non-binary. Instead of M or F, the license will have an X. The department's deputy commissioner said the goal is to be fair to everyone and to respect people's gender identity. Connecticut is one of 12 states that allows non-binary gender identification. Well, Tinder is rolling out a new feature meant to keep users safe when they're out on a date. The dating app is adding new safety features, including a panic button that alerts authorities if something goes wrong. Users in the U.S. can use the new features as early as next Tuesday. Match, which owns Tinder, is going to roll out the features to its other U.S. dating services later this year. Well, in an attempt to break a Guinness World Record and to raise awareness for an important cause, Harvesters, the Kellogg Company, and Hy-Vee toppled these 4,000 boxes of Frosted Flakes domino style. The Harvesters cereal box topple successfully broke the record as all 4,000 boxes fell. Tony the Tiger started the domino-style toppling right there, cheering it on. Organizers hope this brings attention to the issue of hunger. This kicks off a week-long hunger food drive. The organizers are urging the public to make donations at local Hy-Vee stores. Very nice. Still to come on the Pick 7 News at 5, the search is on for the man behind a transphobic attack on a subway platform as state and local leaders rally behind the victim. Plus, we take you back out to Madison Square Garden, where fans are still trying somehow to process the tragic death of Kobe Bryant. We'll have a live report when we come back. Basketball legend Kobe Bryant has died in a helicopter crash. At the age of 41, Kobe was traveling with at least 4 other people in his private helicopter when it went down in Calabasas this morning. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Kaidi Tong. Bryant and one of his daughters were reportedly on board when that crash happened. Tonight, the world of sports and way beyond that, mourning the loss of one of the greatest players in NBA history. Pick 7's Christiane Benavides joins us live from outside Madison Square Garden, where the fan reaction is just pouring in. Christiane.
Kaidi, absolutely heartbreaking. Basketball legend Kobe Bryant dead at 41 years old. According to multiple reports, his 13-year-old daughter, affectionately known as Gigi, was also in that chopper, also a teammate of his daughter and a teammate parent. All 4 of them, those are the 4 passengers, passed away. We also know that the pilot passed away. Perhaps one of Kobe's most memorable games happened right here at the Garden. Let's go to that video. That was back in February of 2009 when Kobe Bryant put on one of his greatest performances. Bryant set the then Madison Square Garden scoring record by dropping 61 points. His scoring helped the Lakers to a 126-117 win over the Knicks. Kobe scored 34 points in the first half alone and helped the Lakers to a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter by scoring 15 points in that final period. So we've been speaking to fans out here, just absolutely heartbroken about what has taken place. Let's take a listen.
I have a very major impact on basketball. I believe there's a lot of players that looked up to him, and now that he's gone, that inspiration is lost.
Terrible. I mean, just he's going to value life, and kids will remember him forever. He was top 5 all time, if not more than that, and it's just terrible tragedy.
Yeah, I just wish the family rest for Kobe. Rest in peace. He's one of the greatest players that ever played the game that I've seen in my time, and all I could just say is that I just wish the family the best. This is definitely a time of sorrow.
I mean, it's sad, we're not promised tomorrow. He lived a great life. It's cut short, but just, love your loved ones and thank God for your blessings.
And as the night has gone on, we have seen a few people coming here to the Knicks-Nets game tonight with Lakers jerseys, with Kobe Bryant jerseys. And again, for those of us who may just be tuning in, Kobe Bryant, basketball legend, dead at the age of 41. His 13-year-old daughter, according to multiple reports, also dead. A teammate of that 13-year-old daughter, along with a parent of that his daughter's teammate, also passing away at that helicopter crash. We'll have the very latest, of course, Katie, coming up at 10 o'clock. For now, we're live in front of Madison Square Garden. I'm Christian Benavides, Pix 11 News.
Just terrible, terrible news. Thank you for that, Christian. And we are currently waiting on the Los Angeles County Sheriff to give us more details on the tragic death of Kobe Bryant. We'll bring it to you once it begins. NYPD hate crimes looking for a man and a woman who apparently attacked a transgender woman just because of her sexual orientation. Pix 11's McGee Hickey's live for us right now outside the subway station in Washington Heights where this happened. McGee.
Hi there, Kaidi. Mayor de Blasio is calling it loathsome. Governor Cuomo says he is sickened by it. And now 2 state police and local police hate crimes task force teams are looking for the man and the woman who attacked the transgendered woman in the subway station right behind me.
I just wish people would leave me alone.
A tearful plea from the victim of a transphobic attack on a subway platform. Through her sobs, 26-year-old Serena Danieri asks just to be left alone.
Leave me alone. I don't do anything.
Police say on Friday night at 8 p.m. while waiting for a southbound C train at the West 155th Street subway station, this male suspect made anti-sexual orientation statements, spat on and slapped the victim in the face. The woman who was with him, according to police, slapped the victim's phone out of her hand. The pair then fled in an unknown direction.
I just think there's a climate that's bringing out the worst in people right now.
NYPD Hate Crimes is investigating what Mayor de Blasio called a loathsome and transphobic attack. In a tweet, the mayor went on, "Serena, on behalf of your city, I'm sorry this happened. Transgender and non-binary New Yorkers deserve to travel in their city without fear." And Governor Cuomo directed the New York State Police Hate Crimes Task Force to help the NYPD. On behalf of the New York family, my message to Serena Danieri is simple. We have zero tolerance for what happened to you, and we will catch your attackers and bring them to justice.
It's so sad because right now, our neighborhood is so quiet. You know, we don't really have any problems.
Police described the male suspect as being in his 20s, last seen wearing a yellow jacket and a black skull cap. The female, also in her 20s, wearing a black jacket and eyeglasses.
It was against her sexual orientation, a transgendered woman. Your thoughts?
That is worse. It's not tolerance anymore. It shouldn't be that.
And from Serena Danieri's Facebook page, she thanks all her supporters, and she says she feels optimistic that justice will be served. We're live in Washington Heights. McGee Hickey, Pix 11 News. Back to you, Kaidi.
McGee, thank you. Well, police in the Bronx are looking for the group of men who they say attacked 2 people earlier this month. This happened on January 8th near Hunt Avenue and Morris Park Avenue in the Morris Park section. Authorities say 4 men approached 2 other men. One of the suspects is accused of slashing a 19-year-old on the right side of the face. The assailants then punched and kicked a 28-year-old man before knocking him down to the ground. That victim was then cut in the face on the right hand, stabbed twice in the back. The suspects fled the scene. Both victims were taken to the hospital, but they are expected to recover. Okay, we're going to take live right now a press conference with the Los Angeles County Sheriff. There's going to be more details, to give you more details about the very sad death of Kobe Bryant, a legendary player.
Let's go live with Chief Darrell Osby of the County Fire Department.
Good afternoon. My name is Darrell Osby, and I'm the Fire Chief of the Los Angeles County Fire Department. I want to thank you for coming here to today's briefing of the Willow incident. Today, shortly before 10 o'clock at 9:47 a.m., the Los Angeles County Fire Department received a 911 call of a potential helicopter down in a brush fire at the intersection of Los Virgenes Road and Willow Glen Street in the city of Calabasas in unincorporated Los Angeles County. Upon arrival, our firefighters discovered approximately a quarter-acre brush fire that resulted from a crash on the hillside. The Los Angeles County Fire Department initial response was 15 pieces of apparatus and 56 personnel that consisted of paramedics, engine company, heavy rescue, truck company, hand crews, and aircraft, and a chief officer to oversee the incident. Upon arrival, during the incident, and upon arrival of the Sheriff's Department, our two respective departments entered into unified command to handle this incident. Our firefighters on scene indicated that there was a debris field and steep terrain with a quarter-acre brush fire that was occurring at the time. Our firefighters hiked in to the accident site with their medical equipment and hose lines to extinguish the stubborn fire, as it included the brush fire, debris from a helicopter, and the fire also included magnesium, which is very hard for our firefighters to extinguish because magnesium reacts with oxygen and water. In addition to our firefighters hiking into the incident, we had one helicopter flying to the incident with firefighter paramedics on board. Those paramedics were hoisted down to the incident early into the incident. They did a search of the area for survivors. Unfortunately, all the survivors on board were determined to have been perished. Firefighters and hand crews worked to extinguish the fire while carefully preserving the incident for investigation. Currently, the investigation is still ongoing. I would like to turn this over to my sheriff to continue the press briefing.
Thank you, Chief Osby. Personnel from Los Hills Sheriff's Station responded to the scene of the crash site and assisted the fire department, and we've established a containment area, and now our Aero Bureau has a handle on traffic or aircraft accidents. However, when there's a fatality, then it switches to the National Transportation Safety Bureau, the NTSB, and the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA. The FAA is already on scene and assisting. We're waiting the arrival of the coroner's office to assist in the recovery of the remains. As the chief indicated, there were no survivors. We have a manifest that indicates that there was 9 people on board the aircraft, the pilot plus 8 individuals. There is wide speculation as to who the identities are. However, it is entirely inappropriate right now to identify anyone by name until the coroner has made the identification through their very deliberative process, and they've made notifications to next of kin. And it'd be extremely disrespectful to understand that your loved one was perished and you learn about it from TMZ. That is just wholly inappropriate, so we're not going to be going there. We're going to wait till the coroner does their job, and we're assisting the families of those who believe they've been impacted, and it's a tough process. And our hope goes out to all of the members that were on board, all the family of everyone who was on board this aircraft, and God bless their souls. So at this point in time, we have nothing that we can add until the coroner does their job, and we'll be making those notifications when we have the information and we know the next of kin have been notified. Then we can release the information publicly, and you'll be notified in subsequent announcements.
Sheriff, there's one thing you can confirm. Do we have a confirmation actually of 9 bodies there at the scene?
That is our belief, yes.
Okay, thank you. So we realize at this point there are so many questions. There's a lot of information out there, and again, we understand. There's a lot of information that's floating, but we certainly have a responsibility and an obligation, out of respect, of course, for the families. And this is a very difficult time for us all, for the city. We have the mayor here of Calabasas, also City Council. We thank them for being here, and in fact, they wanted to pass on a message that for those in the community that want to gather here and are coming to Calabasas, if you do, you are welcome to join others at the De Anza Park here in Calabasas, and the cross streets there are Lost Hills and Las Virgenes. Also, the sheriff's information.
All right, we're
Bureau
listening
will
to a
be
press
sending
conference out of Los Angeles County about the tragic death of Kobe Bryant and other members of his family. We learned a couple of new things from that. One, that we're told that there were 9 people on board that helicopter, the pilot and 8 other people, passengers, and somehow a brush fire might have been involved in what was going on, but we don't know yet. That hasn't been confirmed. It's so terrible for so many people, and you especially, Andy, because you were a close friend of the family.
You know, what's crazy is that I think as I'm processing it, the world is processing it, and we hear from people like Amari Stoudemire, who's in Israel right now, and Amari is getting this information, as are legends, legends and current players who are reacting.
It's all over social media that's blowing up over this. Everyone's so sad.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and we're going to get into that coming up in sports, but again, the world reacting to the death of Kobe Bryant, a legend, and an incredible man in a lot of ways, and we'll discuss that more as well.
A really good guy,
yeah.
and a really good friend, great family man. Thank you, Andy, for that. All right, you talked a little bit about the weather, that maybe wasn't great, but now it looks as though maybe there's a brush fire involved in all this.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, and as they mentioned in the press conference, still ongoing investigation. But yeah, visibility was down to about 3 miles at the time of the crash. There were low-hanging clouds measuring anywhere from about 1,000 to 1,500. So that's not really ideal flying weather. Plenty of cloud cover in and around the area, all due to that cold front that also came through. So there was a little bit of fog, mist, light winds to have to kind of deal with in that area. But back at home, of course, we're dealing with a completely different scenario. We are expecting clear conditions for now, but we are seeing those clouds start to build. Temperature-wise, we're in the upper 40s, and we are unseasonably mild for now. We topped out at 46 degrees at Central Park. The low was 38 this morning, normally 39, 27 respectively in terms of our highs and lows. Right now, though, 45 Central Park now, and humidity at 52%. So it's come down quite a bit when you compare it to yesterday. We did have all that rain. Remember, we had humidity levels close to around 80 to 90%. Winds have calmed down a bit, but still a little breezy with those gusts at around 16 miles per hour. Across the board, we're still in the 40s. This is kind of like a heavy jacket kind of weather, but not necessarily being all bundled up. You will definitely need to bundle up tomorrow morning, though. Across the board, we're in the 40s for now. You'll find that those wind chills will start to descend into the 20s overnight into the early morning hours. We're also picking up a little lake effect action there. We have a slight chance of a few flurries late tonight into early tomorrow morning. I don't want you to get too concerned about it, though, because some of us may not even see it, mainly north and west of the city. Should anything change, of course, we'll let you know. Check out the contouring. As you can see there, we do have that dip in the jet stream, so we are on